Good afternoon, YouTubers. A few days ago, I was kind of learning a new trick within SolidWorks that I really like it because it makes you create parts so easy. Parts that are kind of repetitive, so the only thing that they change is perhaps the some sort of the dimensions within the sketches so that you can easily create an Excel table for all that information, so that, like, for example, this flange here, this took few minutes just to create different sizes based on that concept. As you can see, I'm doing different variation. Like, for example, now you can see 5 holes here. Now when I move to this 80 nominal size, I get this. I still have the 5 holes there, but if I keep increasing, all of a sudden I have more, and now I get to 100 and so forth. So you can do this very easily when you combine SolidWorks with Excel. So I'm going to show you very quickly how this works. First of all, what you need to do is go back. For example, let's go back here for a second. Let's go back to the 40, and let me go here. There we go. So basically, you create your part, your regular part. What we're gonna do, we're gonna create this part here very quickly, and from that part, then what we're gonna do is kind of copy them to Excel. So hold for 1 second here until I get this all put together, and we'll see what will happen. So let's start. Let's get a sketch here. Let's go to a new file. Let's see. It's gonna be a new part, and we're gonna be working on millimeters. I like that this be white, and we're ready. Let's make this flange, and it's gonna be on the right plane, and can use any. This is not complicated at all. So the first sketch, we're gonna make this outer circle, and let's put a dimension here just so you know what I'm talking about. That outer circle will be about, check this out. So here, this is what we call my first drawing. So I'm gonna put here the 40 millimeters, but the name here are going to be changed to something more meaningful. And how about outer diameter, right? Outer diameter, and we accept that. There we go. Now you don't see the name here is because it's hidden, so you need to press this, and now you have it there. Perfect. Outer diameter. And what is the idea of all this? Let me move here to my Excel table for 1 second, and you can start to see that I'm gonna be copying all this information to my Excel new table, which is gonna be created within SolidWorks. This is outside SolidWorks. This is a pure Excel. The name here I copied originally from SolidWorks, but it could be anything that is meaningful to you, right? So that the outer diameter will be here, the center hole will be here, the thickness of the flange, the hole distance, hole diameters, the number of holes, and the amount of, or what type of lead you will be doing, and so forth and so forth. Nominal can be numbers, or could be anything you want to write here, that can identify the flange that you're looking for. So that's the Excel part. Now going back to my SolidWorks, and here, so I got that, so we accept that, and let's make the center hole here, and that will be again, let's put some, I'm putting quickly the dimension, because the idea is so you know that things have name. Like, for example, this D1 here is not mean anything to me, but the nominal size here will be about 10, and the name here will be obviously center hole, or whatever you want to call it. That makes center hole, that makes sense to you. So that perfect. So we got those two things done. uh, the next things that is important is let's accept that, and let's go to feature, extrude, and as I extrude, 10 millimeter will be okay for my first part here. And let's see, yep, contour definitely is pulling, is making the hole, so this is the one that's gonna be uh, extruded, so that's okay. Now blind, I don't see any problem there on that extrusion, so let's say okay. Now if you touch here, you can see that there's some very hard to read something here. That's very important because that extrusion is part of what I'm going to be changing in Excel. So like for example, go back to Excel here a second, to my table, and that particular thing is called thickness. So the thickness is important. It starts with a 10, then move to 11, 12, 13, 14 for the different nominal sizes that you're looking for. So I need to go back to my Solidworks here and do as fast as I can a double click on it so that it brings me the part. And what I have to change here is called put the word thickness. And 10 is okay, so we accept it, and that will do. So we accept this. Now let's work on this second sketch. On the second sketch, what I want to do is another circle for the location of the holes, and the dimension of that is gonna be, let's see, for my nominal, for my first part here, it's gonna be 25 millimeters, but then let's change the name, hole distance, and let's accept that. And now this is gonna be for construction, we're gonna accept that. And the next thing is let's put some circles where I want them, and again let's do, this is hole diameter. For the first one, let's say that this is gonna be, I don't remember, I think that I thought 4. So hole diameter, we accept that. So we got that. Now how many of them we gonna have? Again, that's another parameter within the Excel spreadsheet. I got hole diameter changing here, but I also have the number of holes. So I got, this is done, this is done, thickness is done, hole distance is done, hole diameter is done, number of holes, this is the part that is missing right now. So let's go back to my Solidworks, and here let's say we accept this, and now let's say that we're gonna do a circular pattern, and we're gonna pick this center, and what we're gonna copy is this guy. So I got the 4 holes there, which is kind of the standard. That will do. Anything else here? Nope. That will do. Now the next thing is do the extract cut, and so let's see, blind, let's use up to next, and that will do. Be careful with blind, because if you use blind and this is get larger, the piece, then it will not cut. It will cut as per whatever distance you establish here. So you want to do always up to next. That's an important tip here that you want to take home. So that will do. Now let's accept this, and pretty much our first piece is pretty much done. Anything else? Let's see. Yep, one thing is missing. I need to rename this. The number of holes here, it is trapped within, let's see, there we go. You see that D1 there? That's the number of holes. If I change that right, right from here, it would change. Particularly, I think that it has to do with the instant 3D that I have activated here. But anyway, touch here and you can see it there. Double click as fast as you can. Now you have there. You don't want to change the number of holes, that's okay, but you want to change this and put a meaningful name here, like a number of holes. So we accept that, and now when we touch anything here, everything will start to have kind of a meaningful name. And so that's on the first sketch. On the second one, I have 1 and 2 and 3 parameters, very important. But I think that we're done. So we got everything that we need. Now there's one, if you check my my Excel table, it says I have a fillet here. I haven't done that fillet. I'm gonna do that at the end to kind of teach you guys how to do a modification of your Excel table when it's already installed within the SolidWorks. So let's go back to SolidWorks here, and we are pretty much done here. So this is what we need to do. Let's go back here. Now here there's nothing. What you need to do is go back here and insert a table and Excel design. It brings this kind of information. You can have it blank. You can auto create. I prefer, well, here it depends what you have. For example, I already have these information here nicely put together with the proper title. Well, you have that, then this is it. But it's like what's coming first, the egg or the chicken, right? That kind of that type of question. So I will say the best way to do this is to do auto create. The auto create will bring all the titles that you need from your Excel spreadsheet. So let's say that, and you can see that it kind of pop an Excel table right here with all the information that are in the sketches. If you happen to see something here like a D1 or a D something, meaning that you haven't provided a proper name to that. It doesn't matter, but then it makes hard you to understand what it's asking for. So like for example, outer diameter, I know what it is, center hole, thickness, hole distance. Now the order is very important. For, I don't know, this is the order that, did I have any control on the order that is shown here? I don't know, maybe, I don't think so, but all of them are important. So you can use control, hit holding control down and picking all of them. That will allow your table to get very quickly with the information that you want. So as you can see, outer diameter, center hole, thickness, hole distance, hole diameter, and number of holes. Here's the thing. Will this match the order that I have of my Excel? Let's copy this order. Well, I can copy all these up to there. Let's copy that. I copy, I go to my Excel spreadsheet. Just because I want to be 100% sure that we are talking the same thing. Like for example, outer diameter is in outer diameter, center hole, thickness, hole distance, hole diameter, number of hole. Perfect. That's important. If something get misaligned, then you have to fix it, either by changing the column here or changing the column within the SolidWorks kind of the small Excel that it popped there. Now the question is, what we do next? Well, I have this line already put together, except that I don't have this column. That's all right. Then you can copy all this. Copy. If we go back now to my SolidWorks, see, I got the default. The default is called 40. So we step here and we do a paste, numbers, and that's it. Now you got that. Now what we want to do, that word that said default there, let's change it to 40, because you can put any name here, whatever you want. I mean, it's a way to pinpoint a particular part. Like a 40 millimeter part means that it has all these parameters. The 60 millimeter part has all these parameters, and so forth and so forth. So you keep adding. Like for example, here is to 100. If I want to do a modification in the fly, I can add another piece here. Let's say let's build a part that is about 200. I don't know how this will look like. Actually, let's do that later. Let me do that later. Let's save this. How we save? This is interesting. Just click outside Excel. Now it tells you that the SolidWorks have a table that contains a 40, a 60, a 70, a 80, a 90, and a 100 configuration. And the way that they put it together here is kind of it's not in order, because it doesn't have any meaning to SolidWorks. So it's for you that have to put this in order. Like for example, this 100 should be here, and the 40, the 60, the 70 should be here. Just to make this easier, the 80, let's see, and the 90. There we go, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Double click there. And obviously nothing happened, because that's nominal. I mean, that's the part that we use to build everything. So now the 60, you should be seeing something getting bigger. 70, perfect. The 80, even better. The 90, and you see the number of holes, how it changed as well, because that's part of the Excel table. That's the largest that I have. Perfect. That looks beautiful. So we can go back, like for example, to the part, and that's the part that you need, and you can send this to the shop or do whatever you have to. And for example, we can pick the material and so forth. Anyway, not a big deal about this design. Let's add on the fly. Let's say that we want a 200 millimeter part, and we want to modify the Excel spreadsheet. So we go here. Now you can go to your original Excel, but I mean, just to keep track of what you're doing. But again, it is here where you need to edit that table and add the other part. You don't care about this, just cancel all that, or you don't. Let's wait until pop open, and now you add the other part. Let's keep here an order, so it's 80, 90. It's go by a 10, so let's do this by a 10 as well, so it doesn't make any mess here. Let's say that this is 120. So this is 120 here. Now this go by a factor of 2. So let's say that this is 30 for the time being. You want to be careful here. Let's put here, I would say 18. I mean, I'm making this part on the fly, no thought about it. This go by 5, so 85 will do. What is this? That's the whole diameter, so that's 9. Let's make this 10. And the number of holes, 10. Let's see. That will be interesting. I'm kind of curious to figure out how that will look like. Whether if you try to make holes, outside the part, then that would be a problem. That would not be good at all. So let's see. Let's accept that, and it generates a new part. It's called 120. Good. And so let's put this here so this looks in order, and let's see, kind of curious how this part looks like. Oh, damn, look good. I mean, I thought that I would be kind of goofing out some of the number, but it ended up being looking good. Excellent. So that's the larger part. I add that on the fly. So I got all this table. And it's like, for example, if you want, let's see, you can save the table, save table, and let's say OK. And you can save it within Excel file. You know, I don't want to do that. So, but anyway, that's how this work. Now, one last item, which is more complicated. For example, let's go back here to the 40, and let's decide that you want to add another sketch or do something else to your part here. And let's go here to part, and let's say that you want to add like fillet, and fillet will be added, I don't know, maybe here, wow, and here. And it seems like the number is huge, whatever I got here. Let's see, 10 is way too much for a 40mm part, so let's bring it to 2. And there we go, that looks better. So we add that and we accept it. So now it look with the fillet and look good. Now here's the story. Touch fillet again, and now you can see something weird here, hard to see it, but that's actually where your parameter is kind of built in. So you double click as quick as you can there, so you can see that it's a fillet, it's 2mm. So let's change this to, well, how about fillet, and accept that. So we accept that. Good. So now we go back to here, and let's say that we're going to edit the table. And here's the story. You want to be careful here. Okay. Now here we go. So we are adding something that is not anywhere within my original table that we create. So we're going to back here, and we're going to touch this guy, and it's right here. If you touch this once, you see where this is kind of located. You can move it around if you have to, but like for example, it's kind of stopped right there because that's the last, I mean, the column that will follow, you know, in order. So touch these. Sometimes you gotta do a double click. There we go. Actually, it went with the first one. I didn't saw it, but you can see that it's right here. That's perfect. Now I add that column. So what I'm gonna do is put the numbers. Again, that was kind of weird how this handled. Let me delete all this. So you can delete, like if you are used to use Excel, this will be very easy to you. Like for example, let's delete this, right click, delete, it's gone. So now let's get out of here again. I'm getting, you know, totally out because I'm gonna start again, because this part is kind of tricky. I want to be sure that you understand what I did. So like for example, let's go back here. Let's go back here and edit the table right there, and stop right there. So the next thing is you want to go to the part, go to fillet, and double click here. There we go. That's it. Perfect. That's it. You have there. Now you want to put whatever parameter you have to put there. Like for example, maybe it's going to be 2, but then after that, check this out. You can put like a formula. You have to like increase by 1 plus 1, and then you can go here and do this up to 7. You can put a formula there. I mean, you can put anything that you want. This is Excel, okay? It's Solidworks is just reading the numbers, whatever they are, to design the part that you want. So that looks good. So getting out from here, just click outside. It kind of update the table for you, and we are about a baby step, except that there's something here telling you that need to be refreshed. So you refresh it and it looks good. So now let's go back here and let's figure it out something here. Let's hit the 60 because the 40, no problem. That's what you're seeing right now. How about the 40, the 60? Reveal. We reveal. Oops, a problem. I don't see the flat being done. How about the 70? Nope. What happened? The 80? None of them have it, or the solidly. Well, the problem is that SolidWorks think that what you design only belongs to the 40 part and not to the other. Although everything is within the sort of within the package, you got to go back here for a second and check what's happening with the flat. You see, it is in the what we call this suppressed state. That's the name. It is in a suppressed state. So in order to fix this mess, you gotta go here and let's say configure feature. Oh, the suddenly you see the issue. You see, it is suppressed. You need to uncheck all of them because they were added at a later time. All right, so we apply and we say okay, and now you see my nice part with all the elements that I was, designing for. So let's go back again here. So how about the 100? Great. Check this. You see, I mean, I'm perhaps, yeah, but this is a parameter. We can change it. I don't like when it start to, probably this might hit it. Let's see. No, it's okay. It worked out okay. So that's perfect. I got all of them, all the design very quickly. I got all the parts that I want. And the nice thing is that you can keep adding. I don't know what's the maximum of SolidWorks parameters, but I mean, this is a very simple flange design. Maybe more complicated design with more parameters will be harder to maintain or to control, but again, you can have very complicated elements. Well, I will say that's more than enough for today. The idea is that you can use Excel to import the information that you want, the parameters as per your sketches, and you will be fine and looking good. And that's basically it. Have fun, guys. Bye.